Long time no see. Welcome back to episode 9 of the Horizon 1 Let's Play. You know, it's been quite a while since I last played this game, mostly due to just the fact that I've had a lot of content coming out in the past week, 2 weeks, but, you know, we're back playing this game, and I really want to get this game finished and all done up. Not to say that I haven't been having fun, but I've been doing this for quite a while now, and, you know, I feel like it'd be a good idea to get started onto a new game. So let's just finish getting up this orange wristband, and then move on to, what is it? The purple one? I don't know. We'll see. So we got a lot to talk about in this episode. The past 2 videos I've done have done really quite well, and have done a lot for the channel. In the past week alone, we have welcomed in 900 new subscribers. In the past week, in a single week, I have never seen that before on this channel, and that's just ridiculous. I mean, speechless, absolutely speechless.
I might have been born with a silver spoon in my mouth, but I also had grease under my nails.
Cap. Okay, so yeah, I mean, a huge part of that that insane growth in the past week was due to, well, one, the video on this game, and then again the Horizon 4 video, and then the Horizon 2 video has still, I don't know what is up with that one, but that video just has decided it doesn't want to die. It's just kept growing in views. It hit just over 100,000 a few days ago, which is just ridiculous, especially since I uploaded it a couple weeks ago. That's just insane. But the Horizon 1 video, I'm going to talk about that one first. If the support on that video was just ridiculous, in a good way, of course. I mean, absolutely incredible, and I'm super thankful for it. But what that shows me is that that is the content that I need to be focusing on more in the future. Not to say that I'm going to be having 40-minute videos up every single week. That is not going to happen. At least while I'm still working, you know, full-time and doing YouTube on the side. That's never going to happen while I do that. But doing those longer videos, I really enjoyed it, personally. I found making that video to be a lot of fun, but also it was definitely a challenge. It was not easy. I mean, it was, I think, like I said in the video, about 20 to 25 hours of recording, editing, writing scripts, you know, adding music, transitions in the video. It was a lot of work. But I mean, it paid off. I mean, I think as I'm recording this, it's around 17,000 views, which is, I mean, crazy appreciated. That's a lot. But yeah, those more long-form essay, documentary-style videos, I'm going to be doing more of those. Don't you worry. They will be reserved for very special occasions, though. They won't be done on every single game. That's going to be really for special projects, not for every single game out there. Stuff more like the Horizon 4 videos, what you can expect from most games out there, about 15 to 20 minutes, maybe 25. That's around the sweet spot from where I've still said a lot in the video, but I'm not taking up, you know, too much of my own time and then your time. You know, making the 40-minute ones is great, but also that's a lot of time. So stuff like the Horizon 4 video, which takes, you know, maybe 5 to 6 hours to make, that's a lot more reasonable. So, but, you know, and like I said in a community post, the next video I will be doing, aside from this Let's Play, will be on DriveClub. I'm going to talk more about that in a sec.
They say that motor racing is a rich man's sport. I say it's no sport. It's a battle to the death.
Okay, Edgelord. But before I get into the DriveClub video, I'm going to talk a little more about the Horizon 4 critique video I did, because there was a lot of questions in the comments, and I want to clear some things up. So first off, that video was a lot more positively received than I thought it would be. I thought I would get a lot more disagreement with some of the things I said, but in all honesty, basically everyone tended to agree. Of course, there were a few people who had some issues, which is reasonable, of course, but most people tended to agree, which was very interesting. You know, originally that video, I was going to take a much more, let's say, negative approach. I was going to do a lot more roasting of the game, but let me explain why, because a lot of people were asking me why I didn't go that harsh, and let me explain why here. So, I was originally going to roast a lot of the things that made Horizon 4 my least favorite, and go really in on that. But I thought to myself and thought, so there are a couple reasons why. One, the game is it's getting up there in age, so it's about 3 years. And a lot of the reason why the game is so hated is just simply because we're tired of it and we want a new game. That's one reason. Second is that Horizon 5 looks to be fixing a lot of the issues that the community and myself have with the game. So there's no point in absolutely going off on the developers and game directors for things that they're already fixing in the next game. So being completely just roasting Horizon 4 wouldn't make sense, because all the issues are going to be fixed as the developers listened. And Playground is one of those developers and game studios that I really like their approach. They do listen to fans and community feedback. That's one of my favorite parts about them. And then the final reason why I didn't roast Horizon 4 as much is that when going back and just looking at the game without that mindset of this is the worst Horizon game, I hate this one, I realized it's got a lot of good to it. And if you compare it to just a lot of the other, competitors, think, Need for Speed Heat and Payback, they don't stand up as well to Horizon 4 if you're asking me. They have some aspects in which they are better, but not in every way, that's for damn sure. Yeah, so now you know some of my reasoning behind why I didn't completely roast Horizon 4 in that video. The game really does have some strong aspects, as I mentioned, of course. And if you look at, the devs are fixing a lot of the issues, and the fact that the game is just getting a little stale, that's a lot of the reasons why the game has this, more hated aspect to it. The same thing happened with every single game in the past. When you're approaching the time for a new one, you start to not like the old one as much. And then after the new one's been out for a while, you start to really, look back at the older one and go, okay, these are some of the kind of things that made the game special. So, just plain roasting it, I don't know. It didn't really fit my attitude towards gaming, and yeah, just wouldn't fit. So moving on from the Horizon games, DriveClub is the next video that is the, not Let's Play. It's going to be just a, I don't know how long the video is going to be. My goal is 20 minutes, it might be 15, it might be 25, who knows. But I've been playing a lot of that game on the side recently, and my god, I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. It's one of the most, raw, visceral, just driving experiences that you can experience on a console. The sound, the handling, the audio design in that game is just, it's second to none. If you think Forza has good audio, my lord, you need to go play DriveClub. And one of the things I'm thinking of doing in that video is just letting a small, sprint race or something play out to demonstrate, and obviously I'm going to explain why, of course, but to demonstrate just how insane the audio design is in that game. Of course, the game is not without its flaws, and I'm going to be mentioning those in the video. Things like the car list, while extremely detailed, those vehicles are very detailed. It's not very varied, and part of the reason for that is because I'm playing now for the first time, and I don't have access to any of the DLCs. So I'm going to be looking at the game from that aspect of, if you're buying it for the first time here in 2021, you're not going to have access to a lot of the content that made the game special. Not to say that the game is bad in its original non-DLC state, because oh my god, it is not. And again, you're gonna hear a lot more of my thoughts in the video itself, but you know, just a quick tease here. But aside from DriveClub, a lot of people have been asking about the Forza Motorsport games, and I am definitely thinking of doing some on the Motorsport games. I haven't done a lot of Forza Motorsport content on the channel, a few videos here and there, but I would probably start off with a Motorsport 7 critique, like I did with Horizon 4. I don't have any plans for that yet, so I have absolutely no idea when it could be even started to be worked on. I don't know if I do it within like this month or the next few months. I have no idea. Just keep in mind that I'm thinking about it, but I haven't started anything yet. And for those of you who get this far into the Let's Play, I know you're into the channel a lot, so I'm gonna say the next big thing that I'm working on here. I teased it a little bit. Oop, yeah, I can't drift that too much. So anyways, before I spun out there, the next big thing is going to be a video that is similar to the Forza Horizon 1 essay. I have zero plans made yet. This is just an idea for now. No script has been started yet. But it's going to be on one of the most incredible games that hasn't seen a lot of coverage. And Test Drive Unlimited 2, straight up. TDU 2. It's going to be on it. And while in the Horizon 1 video, I didn't really mention a lot of that game's flaws, I will be mentioning some of TDU 2's flaws in that video because the game is not perfect. But as I will explain in the video, these flaws are not necessarily all bad. So I was again right then, I was just mentioning flaws, and when it comes to TDU2, that game has a lot of flaws to it. But again, as I'll mention in the video, these flaws are double-sided. While yes, they are things that aren't perfect with the game, some of these flaws are actually what leads into what makes it special and makes the game have that sense of personality and character to it that a lot of some of the more modern games, they feel too perfect. Like, it's tricky to explain here, as you know, I have no script and haven't laid out my thoughts properly, but you will 100% see what I mean once that video is done. And I have no timeline for that video. It could be in a month, it could be 2 months, you know, I don't know. But that is the next big thing for the channel. I don't know how well that video will do, especially since, you know, TDU2 isn't that popular these days. I don't know what I was doing there. So yeah, especially since TDU2 isn't necessarily all that popular these days. But with Solar Crown coming out, who knows, maybe that'll drive a lot more attention to the older games and get some more people to play them, which would be awesome. But anyways, I'm going to stop talking about it here because I want to make a full video on it. But yeah, I mean, be prepared to wait a little bit for that one, just because that game is so special, I want to really take my time with that one. So just because that game is so special and holds a really special place, you know, in my memories, I want to give it even more time than the Horizon 1 video. You know, I said the Horizon 1 video would be done in a month, and I finished it in like maybe a week, just purely out of, I got way too into it, and then just couldn't stop making the video. But I'm going to take more time with the TDU2 one. Again, my goal is at least 40 minutes. I don't know, it could be longer, I don't know, but that's okay, I'm going to stop spoiling things here. Just know it's in the work. But now I'm really starting to get into a rhythm of the type of content that I'm wanting to upload on this channel. So having, you know, an episode or two of a Let's Play during the week, and then maybe a news video on Horizon 5 or any other games that are coming up. And then every once in a while, once a month, once every 2 months, have a longer 40-minute, 50-minute, you know, maybe eventually an hour-long video on kind of the standout games of the racing game genre. But speaking of genres, I got a comment that was very interesting, and it was, you know, asking if I would ever consider doing videos on games that aren't even racing games, so more story-driven games, narrative-driven games, open world, you know, action-adventure, stuff like that. And if you've been around for a really long time, like 200, oh my god, again, I'm spinning out. But as I was saying, if you've been around for a really long time, like 200 or 300 subscribers long time, I used to do some of that. Now, granted, those videos were quite garbage, considering I didn't really have a microphone, I wasn't really scripting things out properly. I'm not saying my videos now are great, but, you know, they're better than that. But it's an interesting comment, and for those that have, you know, made it this far in the video, I want to hear from you. Would you be interested in seeing, while again, not really my target demographic and audience, would you be interested in seeing videos about other types of games? Like, for example, the comment itself mentioned Red Dead Redemption 2, which was actually one of my first videos on this channel. It was a Red Dead Redemption in 2020, you know, does it still live up to the hype? And I was literally using my laptop microphone. It was not a good video. Now, this is probably not the best car for off-roading, but I'm taking the Diablo offer anyways. But, you know, continuing on what I was saying about that Red Dead Redemption 2 video, that was made when I was literally still experimenting. I was learning how to make videos. Probably one of the first 5 videos I did on the channel, so it's quite old. And, you know, if you want to watch it for the meme, go do it. It is hilarious to see. I had a lot of good ideas, but I didn't know how to present them very well. And fair warning for the microphone, literally just using my laptop's microphone at the time, it was god-awful. You can barely hear me, and I sound horrible. But, you know, watch it if you want. I still stand by everything I said, obviously, but it would be interesting to see how I could remake that video and expand on my thoughts a lot further, because for a game like Red Dead 2, which holds such a special spot in my heart, that game is one of my top 3 of all time. It would be really interesting to see how I could remake it and expand upon it with what I've learned so far. And aside from Red Dead 2, I could probably go on for an hour or 2 about GTA 5 and just do a ridiculously long video on that game. Again, I'm completely just speculating and shouting out things here, but let me know, what would you think about those, like, you know, obviously not racing games, but what would you think? Would you all see, you know, anything interesting in me doing that? I know there are going to be people who say yeah, but, you know, let me know. Would it fit the channel? I mean, obviously it wouldn't fit the channel, of course, but, you know, would you like to see it? That's what I'm trying to get across. So I'm going to finish off episode 9 by doing some donuts in the Diablo, and, you know, just asking you guys to, you know, let me know on a lot of the thoughts that you think about some of the topics I mentioned in this video, and what would you like to see for the future of this channel. You'd like to see me crashing into enemies on Z's, you know, let me know. But seriously, thank you all for watching episode 9. I've been really enjoying this series so far, and we're getting pretty close to finishing up, actually. So, you know, leave a like if you enjoyed it, comment, I'll reply. You know, I seriously do truly love interacting with you guys in the comments, so leave a comment, I'd love to reply. Alright, again, thanks for watching. See you guys in episode 10.